Hello, hello, hello. Shady Cleric here. About to start a reaction. Give me a second while I get everything set up. Whew, this should be fun. Okay. Alright. As promised, we were going to do a reaction to the new death battle. So I think it's Reze versus Bakugou, I think it's called. Now, I know it's Chainsaw Man and My Hero Academia, which is a little bit iffy for me because I've watched and read My Hero Academia. I have thoughts on it, and when it comes to Chainsaw Man, I just don't like it at all. Like, I only know it for, I think it's like Benny, I think her name is. And I just don't care for anything else other than that one character. So it's just not it for me. So this is going to be quite the death battle. Not gonna lie. Who knows? I could probably do another reaction to something else, but this is going to be what we're going to be doing today. When I figured it was far enough away that, God, leave me alone, ads. It's far enough away that
Well, well, look who's here.
we're not stealing any ad revenue from the original source. But I figured you guys would like to see it, so I'm like, okay.
The god of explosions versus the bomb devil.
He's with my boomstick.
Alright.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah, let's do this. Alright, you guys place your
Wiz,
bets.
There's nothing like the smell of napalm in the morning, the rush of the shockwave, the flash of combustion. I love it when stuff goes boom.
And no one knows that.
Yeah. Who doesn't love it when stuff goes boom? I love me a good explosion. Goodness gracious. If something goes kaboom, I'm all for it. Like, it is one of the few times I actually bother with first person shooters or third person shooters. Because usually they always bring in like the big kabooms. I just love it to death. Um, it is my favorite thing. Like on God, I love myself a good explosion. It's just the coolest thing because you can make like a well done explosion is just the best possible thing ever, and it's just oh my God.
That feeling better than Katsuki Bakugo.
When your name literally means powerful bomb, it's no wonder he was born with the quirk,
Okay.
explosion. It lets Bakugou create humongous kabooms from his palms. I can only
Shell
dream of
Hero.
having hands that
Great
rad.
explosion,
Quirks are
murder,
genetic
God, dynamite.
superpowers that most humans are
Okay.
born with. Bakugo inherited his quirk from his parents. Specifically, it was a combination of his father's combustible acid sweat and his mother's glycerin skin secretions.
Making Bakugou sweat basically like nitroglycerin. And the more he sweats, yeah, the bigger the booms. His parents basically made the perfect kid. Absolutely
All right.
oozing with shonen main character energy.
Bakugo felt similarly. So much so that he started bullying his childhood friend who happened to be born without a quirk.
Yeah, okay, he's kind of a snot-nosed turd sometimes, but come on, Wiz. The
Yeah, that's
kabooms!
kind of why he's not my favorite
They're so
My Hero
cool.
Academia
Quirks
character.
are a natural biological
But
feature of a person's
whatever.
body. In the same way that we
Explosions are
don't really
cool,
think
so
about
he gets a
walking or
pass
breathing,
sometimes.
Bakugo's explosions became like any other limb, especially with his rigorous training.
Bakugo quickly picked up on how to use his explosions to obliterate anything in sight, block attacks, launch himself around, and quickly maneuver in midair
Yeah,
at
that is
hypersonic
true.
speeds, which requires a ton of focus.
Like, come on, like the maneuverability of this one character is just so like overpowered and overstated, but God, it is so cool. Like, you could do so many cool things with just explosions. I don't know why like people don't like actually do this more. Like make your power your movement tech and make it like I don't know, better if you're moving around. Like if it's just explosions and you're moving around, it doesn't matter if someone is outspeeding you, your fallback or they're stronger if your fallback move to maneuver out of their attacks will damage them every time. It is like you can't resist a bomb to the face every single time. It's like you're rarely going to come up against that one person who can. Everyone else is just going to go down. So it's just I don't know. It's kind of like the Broly argument from like Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Like it's so cool, but at the same time so stupid. Like is that easy to understand? I hope that's easier to understand.
Focus and on-the-fly calculations.
And despite getting this incredibly dangerous quirk when he was 4, he somehow never killed himself or anyone else. That would
Well,
know.
that is pretty
Bakugo
skilled.
was truly a prodigy, destined for greatness.
And his only goal was to surpass Japan's numero uno superhero and his personal idol,
Yeah.
All Might. In Bakugo's
A lot of
mind,
people
the only
compare
person
All
who
Might to
wins no
Superman
matter
and figure
what.
they're the best of
Absolute
friends.
Victory. No problem
That is
for the main
pretty true.
character.
Except Katsuki wasn't the protagonist that he thought he was. That would be Izuku Midoriya, the quirkless child Bakugo bullied. In truth,
Yeah.
he was threatened by Izuku's tenacity.
You are genre
despite being
savvy,
quirkless.
but you're
Really?
not
That crybaby's the main
still,
character?
like, I
Well,
don't know,
Bakugo's
genre
inferiority
savvy.
complex would only get worse when Deku somehow
like when you
landed a
know
quirk
you
that was
have
just
a
as
shonen
cool,
protagonist
and both
power,
were
but you're
accepted
not
to
the
the same
protagonist.
superhero high school, UA High.
It's just
There,
I
he
don't
would
know.
learn to be a superhero and fully develop his ultimate moves.
Yeah, I just don't know. You know, like when you're the shonen protagonist, but you're not like in the protagonist slot. It's kind of like, oh, you're the protagonist of a different manga stuck in the cast, kind of like how Rock Lee and Shikamaru are for Naruto. If you can understand it pretty well, it's like nitroglycerin sweat. Yeah, it's in the palms. It's not on anywhere else, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Detonated remotely, support gear, strafe panzer, turbo speed, stun grenade, explodapult, armor piercing shot, howitzer impact, cluster. Yeah, I've seen a few of these.
Like flying through the sky faster than sound with turbo speed, blinding people with stun grenade, focusing his blasts into
Oh.
armor-piercing shots, or making a big-ass tornado of death.
The howitzer impact involves Bakugo spinning himself in midair with his explosions, building up a tremendous amount of swirling
Oh.
oxygen, and then igniting it all for one hell of a boom.
He's pretty smart when it comes to strategizing mid-fight. He even developed new
Yeah.
techniques for his quirk faster than
He's
Deku did.
UA High
He's
also
kind
aided
of
Bakugo's
like
development by
a
preparing him with his
explosion-based
iconic Grenadier
Ichigo.
bracelets, gauntlets that allow him to store up his sweat, gross, for prolonged bouts, or to release all of it at once in a single massive blast.
He's also got his hero suit, which helps him sweat faster in order to build up stronger attacks. Or the Strafe Panzer, these badass turrets mounted to his back that store his sweat as ammo. With all of that, it wasn't long before Bakugo made his hero debut, called the Bombshell Hero, Great Explosion Murder God, Dynamite. Hey, I dig it. The more colons,
Yeah.
the merrier.
But despite
That
some
is a
early
pretty cool
wins,
name.
Bakugo failed to live up
Like,
to his own sky-high
kinda-
expectations. He
kinda
had the
chuny
makings of a
to be
great hero,
actually.
if only he could get out of his own way and put the team before his ego.
Especially
That
when he
sucks.
was kidnapped by the League of Villains, ultimately leading Bakugo to blame himself for All Might's retirement.
Yeah,
Something
that
needed
kind of
to change.
sucks.
So he vented his frustrations in a slugfest with Deku and realized something crucial. That the kind of absolute victory that defined All Might wasn't victory for himself, but victory for everyone.
He was starting to become the
Oh.
prodigy everyone knew he could be.
Power
I
of
mean,
friendship.
hell, even while he was unconscious, he kept analyzing the fight he was in and coming up with counters. Somehow,
Bakugo's powerful enough to shatter Todoroki's heaven-piercing ice wall. Fast enough to
That
keep up
is
with
pretty
villains
impressive.
Like,
Like,
Shigaraki,
you're
who can catch
unconscious,
light
but you're
beams,
coming
and
up with
tough enough to
ideas of
survive-
counter.
Well,
being dead. Yep, you
Yep.
heard us. Bakugo was killed, dead as a doornail. And then a single bead of sweat floating through his bloodstream detonated and restarted his heart. If that isn't main character plot armor, I
Yeah,
don't
that
know what
is
is.
pretty
His
main
stamina
character
is
bullshit.
perhaps the craziest thing about it.
Like, I don't
After
get
all,
it.
He
Like-
is tanking the recoil of all
Like
of
I know My Hero gets compared to like the Shonen Big Three, but like Bakugo's death could have just been it. It could have just ended there. Like you didn't need to bring him back. Like he was basically Neji tier or Sasuke tier if you want to really be like pedantic, but it was like what if Sasuke actually died kind of thing. But of course it's Sasuke. He's going to come back. So like I knew Bakugo was not going to stay dead, but I figured it would be cool if he did. Besides, like I said, he was not my favorite character, but he was a cool character. Like I acknowledged his existence. Like hell, I've written fan fiction with him as one of the main characters of the story. I like Bakugo. He's just not my favorite. Heck, Izuku isn't like my favorite character. So like you can't even say it's because of I don't like his bullying of Izuku. It's like no, because that's not it. It's just I didn't like him that much, but he was cool. So I'm not trying to like farm him any hate here.
his explosions.
Even with the overuse of his blasts literally tearing his body apart, he kept trying to make him stronger, and eventually his quirk awakened.
Essentially, when a quirk evolves to become stronger. Now, by condensing his explosions into smaller and more powerful clusters, Bakugo could enhance all of his techniques.
Like the Howitzer Impact Cluster, a stunning achievement in the field of explosionology, or Kaboom Theory for the layman.
Powerful
Yes,
enough to shatter the side
Kaboom
of a
Theory.
mountain,
I love
or
that.
blow apart Yuehai itself. Judging by the school's size, we can estimate Bakugo's Howitzer Impact Cluster yielded over 300 kilotons of TNT.
Given Bakugo's
That's
whole
pretty
deal is
cool.
explosions, it makes sense to science out what a ton of TNT actually is. It's literally the energy contained in 1,000 kilograms of trinitrotoluene.
A chemical compound composed of hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon.
Oh, so that's what
the recipe
TNT
for
is.
kabooms. Now, imagine a pile of TNT as big as the Empire State Building blowing up all at once. That's Bakugo's Howitzer Impact Cluster.
And these
Okay.
explosions can launch him so fast, it's like time stands still around him.
Like when he covered a huge part of this city in a fraction of a second.
Oh,
Almost 400
those are some nice
times the
fireworks.
speed of sound.
And that's not all. Now he can detonate his sweat remotely and from all over his body, not just his palms.
Oh,
With all of this
that's
crazy
awesome. That's a
bullshit,
nice
Bakugo
upgrade.
became one of the strong
Wait, okay. Blew up a mountainside, wolf rims, giant metal cubes, dark shadow, Uraka's meteor shower. Yeah, these were like early series. That's pretty new. That's end of series. That's from the movie. I don't know who those people are. Beating up All for One was pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, this looks accurate.
strongest heroes on Earth, enough to battle and defeat All Might's lifelong arch nemesis, All for One. Yeah, that's right, the main villain, who's the protagonist now, Deku.
Bakugo literally and figuratively surpassed his childhood idol and proved his mettle as a hero.
Number 5
True.
on the rankings and rising. Not bad, Kachan.
But more important than proving
Yeah,
it to
like,
his friends,
he's
to All
made
Might,
it pretty
or even
well.
to Deku, he proved it to himself.
Yeah, whatever. Take that, losers! Sickest quirk in the world over here! Dynamite!
Dynamite! Dynamite! Alright. Now to the shittier
What happened to
anime.
you? You look funny and squishy.
I'm over here, Boomstick. That's the new Death Metal plushie from U2's, and it's
Oh.
available to order right.
Oh, like the one they made of me a year ago. You got jealous, didn't you?
What? No, mine's way cuter. Look at it, and you can get one by clicking the link.
Nah, they
Okay.
forgot to color one of your arms.
Boomstick, I have a metal arm. I always have. Oh, and if you order it, there's a chance you might get a special version with a gold arm.
That's actually kind of awesome.
You definitely want one.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I do,
Okay.
okay? Shut up about it.
Click the link below to order one for yourself.
I
It's
have
only
never heard
available
of
for a limited
U2s,
time,
but
and after
that sounds pretty
it will
cool.
never be available again, so don't miss out.
Alright, sure, whatever. Now,
Death, war,
give me the shitty
famine,
anime.
conquest. Humanity has been plagued by all manner of ills since they first crawled out of the primordial ooze. In the world of
Okay.
Chainsaw Man, there is nothing to fear but fear itself.
Because fear itself is real, and they're called devils.
Literally
Alright.
devils from hell. These monstrous beings are the living embodiments
Sure,
of humanity's
whatever.
worst nightmares, and their power is directly proportional
So they're
to
Eldritch
that
abominations,
So
not
the chicken
demons.
devil might be so weak you could keep him as a class pet, like, you know, a chicken. But what about the bat devil, or the ghost devil, or the devil embodying man's fears of one of the greatest weapons it's ever created, the
No.
bomb devil?
Fuck. Okay.
Little is known about the
Alright.
origins of the Bomb Devil's current host, Reze, if that even is her real name.
She might look cute and kawaii,
Okay,
but
Bomb
she's actually
Devil Hybrid, Soviet Union, Super Soldier, Russian Japanese, 1 point author's favorite character, Denji, sort of, flowers, coffee. Well, I like coffee. Age unknown, 5'5", okay. That seems fine.
a Soviet assassin trained from birth to be one of the deadliest killers on the planet. Basically a Black Widow. A cold and lonely
Okay,
existence
so
for
Black
anyone,
Widow.
but
Okay, that makes
quadruply
sense.
so in a world as effed up as this.
But all Reze wanted was a safe, normal, quiet life. As much a fable to her as Aesop's Country Mouse.
Too bad! You are now a walking, talking explosive. Have fun.
At
Okay.
some point, the girl known as Reze was implanted with a fragment of the Bomb Devil and became a hybrid, a human possessing a devil's powers without sacrificing their humanity, transforming
Oh,
their body into
alright,
a living
fine.
weapon.
As a hybrid, Reze's strength and speed are way crazier than a normal human's. And with her martial arts training, she's a force to be reckoned with up close. Also, Wiz, check out the bomb for a head.
Someone like Reze would eat you alive, literally. Should devils like Reze take any damage whatsoever, they can heal by consuming blood.
And that lets hybrids survive
Oh,
some pretty
so
insane
vampire
stuff,
rules.
like
Got
having
it.
their limbs torn off, getting bisected clean in half, or being roasted alive. Just slurp some blood and they're good as new.
Especially useful considering the Bomb Devil's primary
So,
ability is
Vampire
literally
the
blowing
Masquerade
herself up.
rules.
Reze can emit explosions from any surface of her body, even tearing off limbs and turning them into bombs that she can detonate at will.
Damn, that's hardcore.
Wait, okay, super strength, speed, durability, regeneration, blood drinking, yeah. They just went over this. I can understand that, alright. Explosions, long range, self, sparks, propulsions, torpedo, dynamite, missiles, hand to hand. Okay. I don't know. Would that make her pretty powerful? I guess, but I don't think it's gonna be like uber tier, but maybe Bakugou has a chance? I don't know. One is just explosions in and of itself. I'm the personification. The other one is I am the hype, so I don't know. This is kind of like Vegeta versus, well, I want to say meme tier Yamcha, but who knows? Who knows?
She can use these blasts to jet through the sky at hypersonic speeds, maneuver and redirect herself
Okay.
in midair, and enhance the strength and speed of her blows.
Or Reze can send sparks that can ignite the atmosphere in explosions that tear apart entire cities.
You know,
making
I've
herself
seen
stronger
fan art
the
of
more
these
fear her
two.
wanton destruction creates.
As long as the area around her is dry enough to maintain ignition, Reze can create as many explosions as she wants. Not
Okay, that looks cool. I can admit when a scene has a bunch of aura and hype, but yeah, like where was I going with this? Yeah, like most of the fan art leading up to this fight was just Bakugo and Reze dating, so that was kind of cute, but The other ones were mostly of Reze winning, so I don't know. A lot of people think it's Reze, so I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes.
Non-stop.
She can even turn her own
All
body
right,
into
what
different
is
types.
that? Fear of her not enhances power, physical as well. Shrug off an attack. And the violence fiend, who specializes in physical strength. Okay, that seems fine.
Types of real-world bombs to massively enhance their power.
Like transforming her leg into a torpedo or her apron into dynamite. Every single inch of Reze is a living weapon.
This made her feared across the devil world as one of their mightiest warriors, and the perfect choice to assassinate Japan's newly acquired devil hybrid, Chainsaw Man.
You see,
Okay.
you might not think chainsaws are all that scary, at least not compared to bombs, but the Chainsaw Devil is special.
Any devil the Chainsaw Devil consumes becomes deleted from reality, retroactively erased from humanity's collective consciousness.
And here I
Oh,
thought
fuck.
chainsaws were for boring stuff like trees or Texas massacres. Silly me.
This ability makes the Chainsaw Devil the most important being alive and invaluable for any global power to control.
Except instead
So
of
is
meeting
that
the
why
fearsome
the
chainsaw
memed
legend,
ending
Reze met
is the way it is?
Denji, a dumb, horny teenage boy just looking for someone, anyone, to love.
And for once, Reze actually hesitated. Rather than immediately kill her target, she got to know him and found they weren't so different. Both were used as tools of the state, as weapons of war rather than people. A kindred spirit in a hostile world, Denji wanted to drink up as much of the excitement of life as he could. The town mouse to her country mouse.
And think
Oh, okay, that is pretty wholesome. So how did they ruin this? Because I know everyone fucking memes the ending, and I can't escape the ending being memed into my like IPs that I'm in the fandom of and have to see it reference all the goddamn time, even when it makes no goddamn sense. Oh my god, I hate it. Like, I don't hate it as much as solo leveling. Like, let that be clear. Like, solo leveling, One Piece, both of those I consider worse, and I hate them more. I just don't like Chainsaw Man, because, I can never get myself to get into it, but like, still.
thankfully, he was super easy for a pretty face to manipulate.
It wouldn't be the only time.
Reze's nothing if not professional, and she gave Denji one parting gift to teach him the way devils did battle before he died.
As the embodiment of one of
Alright.
the deadliest weapons known to man, Reze's power is off the charts, capable of creating an explosion more than 400 meters in diameter. That's over 4 football fields long.
To have a blast
That's
that
pretty
size,
nice.
you'd need to be exploding with over 2 kilotons of TNT.
More than comparable to nuclear weapons, which is
Okay,
really
so
impressive
she's a
considering
nuke.
Reze is not the devil of nuclear bombs. That's apparently an entirely separate thing.
Despite her bombs being technically conventional, they're just that strong.
Likely comparable
Oh.
to other powerful devils like the Gun Devil, who could travel across the world and kill millions of people in 5 minutes.
That'd be over 500 times the speed of sound.
She's even stronger than the Typhoon Devil, a sentient city-spanning storm.
The literal coughing baby to her hydrogen bomb.
Unfortunately for Reze, Denji took her
Okay.
lessons to
Fought evenly with Chainsaw Man, eclipsed most of Tokyo, killed Devil Hunter barehanded, fight while headless, survives losing various limbs, blitzed Denji several times, feared by Typhoon Devil, Fox Devil, and Violence Fiend. Nomo, Kato, Beam, Devil Hunter Special Division 2. Okay.
heart and proved he was more than a fitting host for the Chainsaw Devil.
He whooped her ass, but spared her life, just in case her seduction wasn't a total act after all.
But it wasn't meant to be. Whether Reze chose the safe life of the country mouse or the exciting life of the town mouse, there are hungry cats everywhere.
Oh, Makima, what I would give to find someone to kill you.
Reze's dreams of freedom were never realized. She simply changed hands from one cold, unfeeling entity to another. And this time, there was no escape. She was a weapon, a symbol of man's bottomless capacity for malice and self-destruction.
So that's
A
how they
living
fucked it up.
bomb.
Alright. Well, that's a
The
shame.
battle's about to start, and I hope you've
Okay.
got something good to hear these kabooms with, like our sponsor, Raycon.
That's right, Boomstick. I've been using Raycon for many
Raycons
years now,
look
and they've got
way too
everything I
expensive
need
for
in
me.
good earbuds.
And with
I
Mother's
don't
Day
know.
coming up, this is the kind of gift she'll actually use.
Okay.
Such as Raycon's
fine.
essential open earbud.
All right, fine. I get it. Raycons are pretty cool. They're awesome. But I am like poor as shit, so I probably would never get them. But for anyone who actually sees the videos, I would have to say you should yourself. Like, I would very much root for you trying to get some. Like, support these guys. Like, they do really fun like videos, so like you gotta support them. Like, it's just being helpful, I guess. Anyway, let's continue.
They're open ear so she can listen to music or podcasts while doing other things.
Like going for a morning walk, running errands, or driving her rocket-powered dune buggy. You know, mom stuff.
The sound stays clear and balanced without feeling closed off from your surroundings, which is such a win-win.
But if that's not enough for you, Raycon's got a bunch of other cool stuff for sale.
Is there
so
a
I'm
Freedom
sure you'll
Devil?
find something for her, or for you.
Celebrate the moms in your life. Go to buyraycon.com/deathbattleopen to get 15% off the essential open earbuds.
Thanks for sponsoring Death Battle, Raycon. We wouldn't be able to have these amazing animations without you.
Go to buyraycon.com/deathbattleopen to get 15% off
Let's
the
do
essential
this.
open earbuds.
Alright.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, so I'm gonna say right here, I'm still rooting for Bakugou. Like, I know probably that's a stupid idea, but I gotta root for him because I've actually seen his series. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but that's how I'm going to go about this. Like, I don't know. He's just the cooler one to me, okay? Okay, that's all I have to say about that. I will probably put the link to this video in the description. If I forget, that's going to be on me. Oh my god, what? The hell is this? Is this raid? Okay. I have no clue what that is. Alright.
I've been sent to collect your head, Dynamite.
Better villains than you have tried, lady. You tell your bosses that after I send you back in a coffin!
How would I tell them that if I was already dead? Wow, you're quick.
Shut up and die!
This is some nice flirting. Okay. That is pretty cool. Punch the bullets.
Oh, damn! Oh, damn!
That is pretty surprising the first time, you know. A headless person running at you and fist fighting you? Oh man. Come on, boy. You got this. Come on. I have a parlay on you, man. Come on. Get him. Yes, yes.
Oh, it's on! Impact!
Oh no. With all these explosions, she's going to get stronger, isn't she?
Lose or lose it, people!
Save me, Dynamite!
Let go of me!
Boom.
Oh boy.
Leave them out of this!
Oh no. Is this gonna be the end of it? Oh no. Oh no. Shit, 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 shit.
Delicious.
You bit off a bit more than you could chew. My blood isn't the only thing you drank. It's my sweat you should worry about, dumbass!
Ooh. Oh boy.
I'm aiming for absolute victory!
Oh yes.
Impact! Cluster!
Oh yes, yes, yes. 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 Oh yes. Yes. Victory.
Scratch that. Not enough for a coffin.
Ooh.
KO!
Yes.
Oh, Denji, we're so sorry to hear about your girlfriend that passed away. She gets 5 big booms. Boom! Boom!
Please just shut up. On the surface, these two seem evenly matched. So let's break this fight down into 3 categories: their speed, their stamina, and their firepower.
First up, let's talk speed.
Both Bakugou and Reze could rocket through the sky at hypersonic speeds and maneuver and redirect
Okay.
themselves on a dime in the middle of fights.
That's
to the
pretty
casual
cool.
observer, at least, they seem to be on par with each other.
So we have to look at the people they've fought to compare.
Reze has battled Chainsaw Man, who could match and defeat
Denji and Pushia fluctuate in power. So battle Reze due to fear surrounding Chainsaw Man. Cannot reliably scale defeats from the newer arc. Okay. So this was made before the ending, or at least after. Okay. Okay, got it.
someone using the Gun Devil's power.
The same gun devil that could literally fly around the world, killing millions of people at over 500 times the speed of sound.
Impressive,
Okay.
but compare that to Bakugou fighting Shigaraki, who could react fast enough to catch light beams with his bare hands.
That's over 1,000 times faster. And that was
Okay.
before Bakugou's quirk awakening that made him even faster than that.
With reaction speed of that caliber, there's little chance Reze could ever get the drop on Bakugou, and would likely
Oh.
be forced to play catch-up in a duel. Speed goes to Bakugou.
Okay.
However, speed doesn't matter if one couldn't truly hurt the other.
So,
A big
yeah,
part of this
explosions
fight is their
ignore
stamina.
defense.
Bakugou's durability is mind-boggling. He's survived being impaled through the torso and has even brought himself back to life.
But, unlike Reze, his stamina does eventually hit a limit. Every explosion he makes whittles him down just a little bit more, and
Oh.
uses up more and more of his sweat. Without a break, he can eventually run out.
Whereas Reze can effectively create bombs without respite, and from a distance.
Unlike Bakugou, who usually likes to get up close and personal.
Furthermore, her
Alright.
devil hybrid physiology gives her an actual regenerative healing factor, allowing her to shrug off the same kind of mortal blows that would eventually kill Bakugou, main character plot armor or not.
If this ever became a war of attrition, Reze had it in the bag. Stamina goes to Reze.
Okay,
However,
yeah,
it's
that makes
unlikely
sense.
it would ever get to that point. The biggest factor in this fight was always going to be their raw firepower.
Alright, yes.
Explosions! First, we gotta compare their two biggest blasts. Reze's
Alright.
nuclear light bomb against Denji versus Bakugou's howitzer impact cluster.
And the difference is obvious. Based on calculating their sizes, Bakugou's
Oh.
300 kiloton explosion was over 100 times more powerful than Reze's 2 kiloton blast.
But that's not all. Remember the Typhoon Devil?
Coughing baby or not, to create a storm big enough to cover Tokyo's over 2,000 square kilometers, he'd have to be generating more than 400 kilotons of TNT.
Greater than Bakugou, right? But that's not all. Again, Bakugou's howitzer impact once shattered the size of this big-ass mountain.
Oh.
And despite being earlier
So that's
on in
gonna be the
series, it was
deciding
enormous,
factor, right?
Almost 3 kilometers in radius.
Or just over 2 megatons of TNT. 5 times more powerful than the Typhoon Devil, and way beyond anything we've seen Reze do.
And
Okay.
this was Bakugou before reaching his full power in his fight against All for One. Bakugou takes the final edge in explosions.
Okay.
And remember, Bakugou withstands the recoil of all his blasts. So even though Reze had greater stamina, Bakugou was more than tough enough to hang on and
Okay,
get his
so
kill
he had the
shot,
durability,
especially with his
like,
superior speed.
advantage.
And
Got
devil
it.
healing factors can be overtaxed with enough damage. Hell, she needed to drink blood a couple times against Denji just to keep fighting.
Against someone as fast and powerful as Bakugou, she would not get the chance to heal consistently, or perhaps at all.
And what happens when devils die? They Bakugou to hell.
The winner is Katsuki Bakugou.
All right.
Bombshell, hero, great explosion, murder, god, dynamite.
Yes.
Time on Death
All right,
Battle.
who's next? Oh? Brew and Megamind. Okay. I guess that's one I can skip.
Subscribe and join as a member to see
All
more
right.
Death Battle. And
That's fine. That's fine. All right. Still, I'm happy that I at least won my parlay. Like, I didn't bet anything on it, but at least I won. Ooh. What's this? Anyway, that was the death battle, like reze versus Bakugo. I can't wait to see all the memes that come out of this, but you know how like the internet is. It's gonna be memes and maybe some not safe for work art, which will be nice to look at. Like at least for me, but for most of you, it's not gonna be so nice because most of you had your bets on, I guess, the hot chick. Like don't you dare at me saying you didn't. Like I know you. I know you pretty well. You had your bets on the hot chick. Anyway, I guess I could say that was pretty fun, not gonna lie. Whew. Yay. Alright. So I guess that will be the end of this video. Like and subscribe for more reaction content or more gaming. I stream on Twitch usually every day. I attempt to stream every day, like around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, I don't have a lot of other things I could really say to end this off, so I'm gonna end the video here and see you guys next time. Bye!